we're going to go over static electricity. Alright. First, static electricity. If a positive charge is ever created, a negative charge is also created, and vice versa. Which leads us to our first point. Net charge is always 0. Alright, there are two types of ways that we can charge an object. The first type is charging by conduction. Alright, to charge by conduction, I'm going to explain that by using an example. So, we have a positively charged object, and we have a neutral object. So we're going to make these two touch. We're going to put them in contact. So at the moment they touch, we have this. The positively charged object in contact with the neutral object. So the moment this happens, the charge is going to be evenly distributed, and the neutrally charged object will become positively charged. And then we finish the process by separating them. So when you think charging by conduction, think conduction, which is a C. So think contact. And contact also has a C. So think of these two things together when you're trying to remember for your test. Alright, the next type of charging that we need to go over is charging by induction. To explain charging by induction, I'm going to give you an example. So, we have a positively charged object, and we have a neutral object. And we're going to put these two very close together. When you're playing with magnets as a kid, you often notice that north attracts south. And the same is true for positive and negative. Positive and negative also attract. So since there are all these positive charges right here, negative charges are going to be attracted to those. So negative charges are going to creep over to meet the positive charges. But I went over earlier that net charge is always 0. So if a negative charge is created, a positive charge must also be created, which means we're left with positively charged over here. At this point, we're going to connect this side of the object to ground. And this is ground. Think of ground as a charged sink. It can absorb an infinite amount of charge. So, all these positively charged objects are going to creep to ground. So we're going to be left with the positively charged object with the negative charge over here connected to ground. And then we're going to disconnect it from ground, and we're going to end up with this. A positively charged object and a negatively charged object. And this is charging by induction.